Welcome in, everybody, to the Jays Digest pregame show. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Now, a couple losses in a row for the Toronto Blue Jays, 3 to be exact, but they look to get back at it today against the Boston Red Sox. It's going to be a tough game. It doesn't get any easier today against this tough Red Sox lineup, but the Jays are looking to bounce back, and I think they will with Alek Manoah on the mound.
Yeah, and the schedule doesn't get much easier. Shout out to Peter's headphones. He's not at his normal setup, so Peter's rocking
Different
headphones.
setup. Construction in my house. Construction.
Yeah, but
so
the schedule does not get any easier for the Blue Jays at all. And we're gonna need to start winning some games here soon. And hopefully that'll start with today. There. What's up, Kitchener? Owen, Shane, Nick. Time to right the ship and have Manoah plunk. No. We don't want that. I think there's a 0% chance that he does that. At least in the first at bat. At least in the
Zero?
first at bat.
No way, man. I think there's a big possibility that happens.
John Snyder said that he
see
wasn't, but maybe. I like how Peter keeps changing up the scenery. Yeah, I've had the same background forever, and Peter changes it up every.
Not by choice, man. It's not by choice, but I do anything to get this content out for you guys. So hopefully you appreciate it.
We took yesterday off for a couple reasons. The pregame we couldn't do it. What's up, Kenneth? And the postgame they lost again. Boring game. And thanks, Kitchener. We're doing good. Hopefully the Jays can get a win because it's been too long. I mean, it's been like 2 days, but still three games in a row. Actually, they've lost 4 days. So it's we're hoping that we can get a win, get back on track, especially with the Orioles continuing to just be great. They're 20-9 now, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. But let's get into lineup previews today. We'll get there, Owen. We'll get there. Lineup previews.
Thanks, Leslie.
Yeah, lineup previews today. It'll be an accident. That is a good point. He hits a ton of people. Peter, the traveling Blue Jays fan, exactly. So
I'm on the road. I'm on the road with the team.
We have Springer continuing to lead off. We have Bo Bichette at short. Vladdy, Matt Chapman DHing, Varsho, Kirk, Merrifield, Espinal, and Kiermaier. So I guess the big thing about this lineup today is obviously Springer's continuing to lead off, but the big thing is that no minimal lefties and no Brandon Belt. And I think it was Josh Goldberg essentially tweeted Brandon Belt isn't playing against a righty, and you have Espinal in there. What's really his role at this point? That's something we discussed in our last video that we uploaded. Belt seems to be out of commission, at least for the time being. Maybe they're going to give him a week off to try to maybe get healthier. Who knows what's on the go? But no Belt is an interesting choice today.
Yeah, I think maybe get him some more practice time, see some live ABs, maybe send him Phantom IL, get him some minor league pitching, and just see where you're at from there, because you invested a lot of money in Brandon Belt. I know it's only a 1-year deal, but it's $9.3 million. It's no joke, and this is a guy that you want to get going and a guy that you want to play every day, because we saw what happened last year with Alejandro Kirk when he was DHing quite a bit, and didn't end well in the second half. He was not the same player that we saw for the majority of the season early on. So you want to get Brandon Belt going. I think Kevin Biggio, that ship has sailed, unfortunately, but you do want to get Brandon Belt going so he can take a lot of those DH reps and give those guys a break so they can take full off days and not half off days. And I think that'll pay dividends come season's end for the Blue Jays, but you got to get him going. And if there's ever a time to go ahead and do that, I mean, it's right now. You don't want to throw away games in June, July. You might as well try to get them going right now, right? So maybe Phantom IL and see where you're at from there.
Yeah, I agree. And that is Player of the Month, Matt Chapman. Shout out to Matt Chapman for, of course, winning the Player of the Month award, and it wasn't really close. I guess the next closest person was Jared Kelenic was probably the next closest for the AL there. But I like to see Varsho on that power spotter for yesterday. Maybe he's as funny as Power Surge. Peter predicted it. This would be the series. He had a great game yesterday. The Blue Jays choked another lead yesterday. It seems like the third lead in a row they've choked there. But bullpen is just shot right now, and they have two reliable relievers in Eric Swanson and Jordan Romano. At least that's what it feels like recently. But a lot of that is fatigue, and I don't know. It was a
they had 16. They had 16 innings in a row that were scoreless and over 30 strikeouts in that stretch. So they're not going to be perfect. Pitchers give up runs, and relievers are no different. I know relievers tend to have lower ERAs than the starting pitchers do. That's natural. They throw less innings, but I mean, we gotta take a step back here and realize that the Jays are still 18-12. They're on a 97 win pace, and if they win the next two games, they don't even lose the series. They tie up the series with the Boston Red Sox. So let's take it a game at a time here. I'm not worried about the bullpen. It seems as though they only have one or two reliable arms right now, but That's not the case. Jimmy Garcia had a good bounce back yesterday. Zach Pop made one mistake and it proved costly, but I do think overall that the depth is there. Nate Pearson looked good, so that's another arm that's in the fold that you could use down the line, and I've liked what I've seen. So I'm not worried about the bullpen. It's all about getting quality starts now from your ace and your co-ace in Kevin Gausman. They got to get you deep into the games to save some of those bullpen arms so you can be ready for this tough month that you have up ahead.
I agree, and let's try to, like you said, if we split the series at this point, that would be considered a pretty big win, given
Oh
the
yeah.
past couple of games. So there's been talking concerns about George Springer. Guys, thoughts? I'm not worried about George. Give it another few months or 1 or 2 months, and then if he's continuing to struggle, maybe considering moving him down. But he's been great his whole career, and I don't think that's gonna change. He's been lacing the ball, or at least he has at the start of the year. So I'm not worried.
I think he's pressing a little bit right now because you could tell he's getting unlucky and he's picking on pitches that he usually doesn't swing at. His swing selection has not been very good. So I'd like to see that change a little bit. I don't want to move him out of the leadoff spot, contrary to belief right now. A lot of people want to get him out of that spot, maybe 5, 6 hole. But I think he's best suited in the leadoff spot. He's one of the greatest leadoff hitters of all time. So you leave him there, you let him figure it out. And we've seen this streakiness out of George Springer before. And when for his first season with the Blue Jays, I think he was maybe batting like 230 or 240 when he first came back from injury. Then he jumps up his average all the way to 280. So he's that type of hitter. He's always been streaky, but when he's going, he's got the potential to be the best player on your roster. So give him time. And we got to remember he's also coming off of elbow surgery. He's not exactly 100%, and he hasn't missed a game. He's missed one game this year. So that's a good
couple maybe, but
one game.
Rest,
I think he's missed one game because of that illness, and I think look, we got to give him time. Got to get him broken into right field here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna check how many he missed. He's played 29 out of our
30 out of 30.
Yeah, you're right.
He's missed one game.
I'm still happy with our pen. When you break it down, relief pitchers should give up an average of a run a game. So when they go 4 or 5 without giving one, they give up 4 to 5. Exactly, yeah. I can't count how many leadoff homers George hit the past years for the Jays. Yeah, and for the Astros before that, he's, like you said, he's one of the best in baseball there. So he is probably the best leadoff hitter.
He'll get there.
The best active leadoff hitter, I would say, right? In the sense of like all-time rankings, let me make that clear. Like, is there a better leadoff hitter in baseball right now in the sense of all time? He's probably the best, one of the best of all time, top 3 for sure.
Well, home runs wise, yeah.
Yeah, home runs wise, that's a good point.
But I don't know. Ricky Henderson's got to be up there. Ronald Acuna is probably the best leadoff hitter in baseball right now. But I mean, George Springer, when he's healthy, he's.
Yeah, and here is
the
starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. You have Alex Verdugo, Yoshida, Justin Turner, Rafael Devers, Jaron Duran has been on fire, Tristan Casas, Emmanuel Valdez, Hernandez, and Connor Wong coming off of his Babe Ruth type game, despite his second home run being a fly ball in 27 out of 30 ballparks, a lazy fly ball that he turns it up tonight. Anything from this lineup? Of course, Manoah's on the hill, like we mentioned, against Nick Pivetta, who's off to a bit of a shaky start, like Manoah. But do you have anyone you're watching out for here?
Yeah, I just want to address this comment from Shane. He's saying he disagrees with us that George Springer should be the leadoff hitter, and he thinks that he's more suited to the middle of the lineup because he doesn't steal bases or he doesn't get on base at a high enough clip. Last year, his on base was close to 340, 350. That's pretty good. And he already has 5 stolen bases this year. So he's on pace for over 20 if the season were to end. And I do think his skill set is perfectly suited for the leadoff hitter in today's game, where power, speed, and on base ability it comes into play. So I do think he is suited for the leadoff spot. But yeah, hopefully the Alek Manoah can have a bit of a bounce back start after that rough one that he had last outing and give the bullpen a bit of a break. That's all you're going to ask for. If he can get into the 7th inning today, get through 7, that would be the best case scenario. And I'm a little bummed to not see Brandon Belt face Nick Pivetta, just because I feel like this would be a good matchup for him.
Yeah.
But we also said that about Corey Kluber, and he struck out 3 times in that game. So I'm okay. I'm okay with the lineup. Nick Pivetta, the Jays have a tendency to hit him pretty hard. So I'm looking forward to tonight's game. I think it'll be a bounce back. I'm not going to predict a win. I don't want to jinx it, but
I'm not gonna
I
predict
do
any
think
score.
I do think the Jays are going to come out hot tonight.
Yeah, and also that top five has been just destroying us right off rip of the game. Verdugo's hit doubles in back-to-back games. Yoshida's a very good, young, at least new to the MLB player, and Justin Turner is obviously he's Justin Turner. Um, Agree to disagree. Yeah, I mean, it makes. I know there's a lot of people. You can make the argument that he shouldn't be leading off anymore this year until he heats up and put Bo there or someone else. I think Bo is so hot at the 2 spot. I'd rather just leave him as is. If you're gonna bring up someone to lead off, maybe even Whit Merrifield, throw him in there. But I think at the end of the day, you just let George Springer
Yeah.
figure it out. But he definitely hasn't been. Springer hasn't been playing well this season really at all. But he has probably the best track. He definitely has the best track record out of anyone on the team. So if you're
In
gonna
that
ride with
leadoff spot, yeah,
yeah,
at least.
if you're gonna ride, I don't even
Yeah.
know if anyone else has a better track record than him hitting wise yet. Anyways,
No.
regarding consistency, obviously Vladdy and Bo, but they're way only a few years. Rush and Killers yesterday, yeah, it's always the interesting. Connor Wong won them the game yesterday too. Just very I don't know, very frustrating game yesterday. But this is why we have Manoah and our aces is to get wins like this, especially Kevin Gosman going to the hill tomorrow. If we can win today, I really like our chances for tomorrow's game. But we just got to get this one out of the way.
I think Brian Bayo is on the mound tomorrow for
Yep,
the
that's
Red
correct,
Sox.
that's correct.
So yeah, good matchups all around. You
The
got
earlier
Manoa.
game too. Earlier game, it's like
Yeah,
5:50
6:10.
Eastern.
Yeah, 6:10. So you got Pavetta against Manoa. You got the edge over there, and Gosman pretty much has the edge over anybody not named Corey, Garrett Cole, or Sonny Gray right now. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I do think the Jays can legitimately go out there and win these 2 games. I expect that they could go ahead and do that. But let's get into the rapid fire here. I don't know if you have any for me, Nick, but I got one for you, and it's actually it was going to be a George Springer question, but
Okay.
what do you think the Jays should do with him? Do you think they should give him more days off? Do you think they should move him down in the lineup? Like what's the best course of action here?
I think he just figures it out. To be honest, I think they just keep playing him like he is, and he'll figure it out. I think out of anyone, he's probably the person I'm least worried about on the Blue Jays right now. And like obviously he had his double play yesterday to end the game, which left a sour taste after going. I think it was 0 for 5 yesterday or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Left a sour taste. A double play I called, by the way, surprisingly enough. But
You got to
yeah.
stop doing that.
I know, I'm done. I'm gonna start calling other things. But I think at the end of the day, he's gonna figure it out. It's still very early in the season. We sometimes forget that because we're so engaged with the game every day, us as fans. But I think he's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about it at all. Honestly, a way bigger concern for me is the belt situation. But I'll let you touch on the Springer thing.
Yeah, I'm still not worried, man. I still can't believe George Springer's a Blue Jay. He's one of my favorite players.
Over
He's
halfway
one
through
of
the
my
contract
favorite.
now.
Yeah, man, and I'm not regretting it one bit. I do think if he was healthy last year, it would have been a different outcome against the Seattle Mariners. He's that good and he's that impactful come playoff time. So if George Springer can get to the playoffs in one piece, he'll lead the Blue Jays to somewhere special. Just know, because look what he did with the Astros. He's a World Series MVP for crying
He's
out loud.
nuts.
We got to remember that. And he's that guy. He still is that guy. Maybe he's not the 28-year-old George Springer, but he's still a pretty damn good George Springer. So I'll take him any day of the week, and you let him figure it out. He's earned that right. He's a 33-year-old vet who's still a pretty good player. So we got to let him ride it out.
Yeah, and mine will be based on Dalton Varsho's game yesterday because we obviously didn't cover it. We didn't have a video yesterday, but it's for you in the chat as well. I guess you can just talk about your thoughts on Dalton Varsho, or also the adjustment that he made with he's back to his leg kick-ish now, which they pointed out in the broadcast, and Kevin Barker also pointed out. So he made an adjustment to his hitting. He goes with a leg. I wouldn't even know if I call it a kick, but before he was just striding, and now he's back to some sort of leg raiser thing, which has proved to work yesterday. Do you think he's going to continue? I know you obviously do, but more so for the chat, because you called him having a breakout series, and I guess you could consider it a breakout game yesterday at the very least.
Yeah, I did think this was a series where he could potentially perform up to the standard that we've set for him after the first week of the season. A lot of righties on the mound for the Boston Red Sox, and he's not swinging the bat well enough to influence those managers to go to the lefties in the bullpen, because after him, You got all righties coming up, so you take your chances with Dalton Varsho the way he's been swinging the bat with those righties on the mound. And look, this could be his chance to kind of to break out of that slump and show us who he really is. And it could be mental as well. Maybe it's not the leg kick that helped him out. Maybe just trying something different for the sake of trying something different allowed him to be more free up there in the plate and be more athletic in the box, and that'll help him in the long run. So I was happy with what I saw yesterday. Couple of extra base hits is always something to be happy about. So hopefully he can keep it going tonight.
Yeah, and he obviously had that big home run for the 6-run inning that we somehow lost. I don't know how, but we'll leave that.
New day, Nick. It's a new day, Nick.
Why would Varsho change his batting stance in the first place? It worked for him last year. I mean, you're always trying to get better. Sometimes hitters make adjustments. Sometimes they work. Sometimes they don't work. Matt Chapman obviously made an adjustment this year. You could say he had a decent season last year hitting. I think it was like around a 110 OPS plus, and he made an adjustment. And now he's the best hitter in baseball. So,
but I think he was doing that last year.
Correct.
That's why. So Guillermo Martinez, the hitting coach, and obviously Don Mattingly, they try to change a little bit of the approach of the Blue Jays. They want them to go the other way and kind of eliminate some of the swing and miss in their games. But that's a big part of Dalton Varsho's game. It's his power, and unfortunately, it's his strikeout ability. He strikes out a lot, but he pulls the ball with force, and he hits a lot of home runs and a lot of extra base hits. And that's who he is. That's who he's going to be. That's who the Jays went out and acquired. Don't try to tinker with him. Let him be who he is, because even when he is striking out quite a bit and pulling the ball for power, he's a pretty damn good player because he offers a lot of value in other areas besides hitting. So I think you just let him be who he is and don't try to correct what's not broken.
I agree. What's up, Brosef? And yeah, I agree. And we can move on now to unless you have another rapid fire before we.
No, I don't.
Okay, we can move on now to the bold predictions here, and I'm gonna think about mine for a sec. I'll let you have yours. I'll put up the lineup for you. Here's the lineup.
Yeah,
with your bold prediction.
I'm going to go Dalton Varsho gets 3 extra base hits today. So he continues his breakout from yesterday. I don't know how bold that is considering his performance that he had last night, but 3 extra base hits for Dalton Varsho. Keeps it going, and I'll give him a no one as well. I think he goes 8 scoreless. Gives the bullpen a break.
I think Manoah, I don't even know how bold it is. Yeah, I think Manoah has a huge game today, and I think the Jays, I guess my bold prediction, it won't be very specific, but I will throw an Espinal home run in there, but I think the Blue Jays win today by a lot. I think it's a pretty, I'm going to knock on wood here, but I think it's pretty easy win.
I'll join you. I'll join you.
I shouldn't jinx it, but I think the Jays comfortably win today, and then they go back in a little bit of a winning streak. Because as you can see in the standings bar at the bottom earlier, you know,
right.
Rays 24-6, Baltimore 20-9. We're obviously 18-12. We're still right there. And again, their schedule's been way easier, but you don't want to fall too far behind. We're now 6 games behind the Rays, and we'll have tons of time to get back at them. We still have like 10 games against them left in the season, something like that. I think maybe 11, 10 or 11 games. 10. Okay, yeah, 10 games. So, I mean, tons of time to win, but I want to stay close. That's not a higher average than Varsho at the end of the game. Espinal's been playing really well.
I think they will be right there towards the end. And the Yankees do not look good right now. A lot of their injuries, unfortunately. Aaron Judge is also sidelined. So hopefully I could get to see him play when the Yankees come to Toronto, because I'll be at that series. I'll be at the three of the first 4 games. So hopefully I can get to see Aaron Judge. But yeah, the Yankees don't look good. The Orioles don't have the pitching to keep up this pace. Yeah, I mean, they played a lot of weak teams. Their bullpen is very good. They have a very good bullpen, but their starting pitching is nowhere near the caliber that it needs to be. I think they have a chance to fight for that last wild card spot, but it'll come down.
I think they're gonna.
It'll come down to the wire. They won't be in the mix for the division.
I think they're going to come tumbling down to earth over the next month or two. I think it's just going to. They're not going to be bad. I think they're still above 500. I just think they're more in the 80 to 83 wins as opposed to the 90.
I'd say like 85. 85 wins. Can't.
And they haven't played many good teams right now at all. And also, like you said, the pitching is. They're doing decent right now, but when you have pitchers like that, it's eventually just gonna come back to earth, and that's what happens every year. There's always a team like the Orioles, like the Pirates this year. Though I think the Pirates have a bit more of a sustainable than the Orioles right now, but I think they're also gonna come falling back to earth. But I think what hurts the Orioles is the AL East more. That's what I'm more so talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
The Pirates' schedule is gonna be much easier, so I think they'll probably end up with a better record. Though I think the Orioles are probably the better team.
I agree with that. The Pirates. I don't think they're as good as the Orioles, but like you said, they're playing a lot of weaker teams, and the NL Central does not look good. Everyone and their mom picked the Cardinals before the season
And they're
started
horrible.
to win that division. They're the last place. They're what, 10-20?
They're horrible,
They look
which
horrible.
is crazy because they looked great against us. They looked like the World Series contenders. Jacob,
Of course they did.
We just finished it,
did.
so you can throw yours in there before we wrap up here. A few minutes away from first pitch. Make sure to like button. We got 25 likes. You guys are doing great on the likes today. And again, shout out everyone in here. We like doing these. We like doing these as often as we can. We might be missing. I mean, I might be missing a few throughout the next couple of weeks there with work, but I'm sure Peter will have you covered or some degree. I'll be here for.
I got you. I got you. Shane, get off the Springer hate train, man. We want him to do well. You don't root against Springer. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. I don't accept that. Not in this chat. I like you, so I'll keep you around. But if that was anyone else, you're getting banned. You're getting banned. No Springer hate in this chat here.
He's kidding. He's kidding.
I know.
Biggio, though.
He's kidding.
You're gone. Biggio love. I'm just kidding. Manoah is ejected for hitting a random Boston player, and the Jays bullpen is running for the rest of the week. That's honestly, it's a take that I hope doesn't happen. And it's a bit scary because Manoah hits a lot of batters. And you'd have to do a lot to get banned from this chat. We don't ban baseball take wise. We never ban you. Hopefully.
One guy, just a random note here, Nick. One guy I've been very impressed with is Yoshida of the Red Sox. That guy is just such a good hitter. Oh my goodness, man! Like, what does that guy do? What does that guy do to? He just gets the bat on everything, and he's so good. I've been very impressed with him.
He's going to be for him. The shout out from the Korean League there. Huge. Japan.
He's going to be good for a long time, man. Thorn in the side of the Blue Jays for a while. 5-year contract.
I'm happy to see him doing well, though. I kind of like seeing players like
he's so good.
Just new players to the MLB, even like rookies. You always gotta root for him. And one quick thing,
he was really good in the World Baseball Classic,
and it transferred.
Yeah,
it will be tough to get. Yeah. Also, Gunnar Henderson's having a rough year. I just wanted to throw that out there. I saw that today. I don't know. Negative WAR, and is somehow still ranked like the second best rookie this year by I don't know who it was. I think it was MLB.com, which makes zero sense.
It was. You got to monitor your own league, man. What's going on there?
They probably just, he's obviously I feel like he's a good, pitcher player for the MLB. So there's we'll throw him up there. Verdugo's a pompous goof. He's interesting. He did retract his statements about Manoah though.
But he went out of his way to say them, which was weird. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, it's a. I don't know. Verdugo just waits for it to rain to get cleaned up. Oh my. Anyways, anything else you want to say before we wrap up? Again, hit the like button one last time before we head out. We're at 18. Let's get to 25. First pitch is in a 3 minutes there, or a few minutes. I guess it's 5 minutes away, but we'll let you go. I'm gonna get ready to sit down and hopefully watch a Jays win because the last 3 games have been beyond. I don't want to say frustrating, just unfortunate. I'm kind of past the frustrating point. There's going to be too many losses in the season for me to be.
Yeah, they'll be all right, Nick. They'll be all right. They're winning tonight. Do you trust Richards yet, Pete? Sean Richards, shout out to Sean Richards. I do in low leverage situations, not in when he started warming up the other day in the 9th inning or the 10th inning, whenever it was. My heart stopped. My heart stopped. It's not good.
Hopefully the Jays win today so they can because if not, I'll tell you one thing. Blue Jays Twitter will be coming at John Schneider no matter what decisions he makes.
Oh my God. I want to talk about that before we let you guys go.
I wish I had a Pete Rant segment.
No. I won't go crazy here. I won't go crazy.
On the flames. Hurry up.
Just Jay's Twitter. You guys got to chill out. Not everything is John Schneider's fault. They're 18-12.
A lot of it is.
Relax.
But a lot of it isn't.
No, I don't agree. We'll agree to disagree, but
last game was not his fault at all.
Last game was not his fault, so pick your battles. Not everything's John Schneider's fault. Just relax. It's game 31 of the season. It's a long one. If you're overreacting to game 31, you might not make it until game 162. So
unless you're overreacting and you're very self-aware that you're overreacting, because that's okay, because we kind of do that too. But you got to clock it out for the next game. It's the beauty about baseball. 24 hours later, you're back at the less than that.
That's right. That's right.
All right, well, this chat's turning into a Verdugo slander chat, so we'll let it go. have a good night. Enjoy the game, and we'll be back right after the game for a post game video, win or loss today. Hopefully a win, but either way, win or loss, and maybe we'll maybe if they lose, we'll talk about the bullpen. We'll see.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Any sponsor for this segment? It's in the works. Just kidding. It would be great though. All right, take it easy, folks.